Does frustration build as we saw Jerry Jeudy
right
kind of yelling at him on the sideline?
Yeah, it's a competitive game. That's behind us at this point. I don't have any concern about their relationship, where they are, being on the same page. I think, look, everybody's competitive, wants to, play well and win games and do things the right way. So, that's something they've had a conversation on that's completely behind us.
Tommy Rees just got caught making his feelings crystal clear about the viral Jerry Jeudy Shedeur Sanders sideline explosion, and what he said is exposing the double standards in Cleveland's coaching staff. While Jeudy was screaming at Shedeur on national television for not getting targets, Rees brushed it off, saying, "I don't have any concern about their relationship. It's behind us," completely protecting the veteran receiver instead of holding him accountable. But here's where the hypocrisy gets insane. Rees admitted he's sitting in the booth watching Jeudy open 3-4 times per game, yet when asked about the frustration, he puts all the blame on himself and the coaches, saying, "Where did I not make this clean enough for him to execute?" So let me get this straight. A fifth-round rookie quarterback is getting blamed for not force-feeding a receiver who's having his worst season ever, while the coaching staff tells angry receivers, "The defense dictates where the ball goes, not me." The contradiction is wild, and it's exposing how Kevin Stefanski's staff is protecting veterans over developing their young quarterback.
Yeah, there's certainly some opportunities he probably wants back, and that's going to happen with a young player. You're seeing things, and things are moving quicker than you're used to. And, every rep he gets, every opportunity he gets, he's going to get more and more comfortable. There's always going to be plays you want back. I think we had some things there that you felt like you had some opportunities to hit, and those are coachable moments for a young quarterback. Those are opportunities to point out, like, hey, this is what open looks like, or this is the defender that our eyes need to be on, and, trust that you're going to make this throw. And, in the same vein, he makes a lot of those plays too. So it's building comfort across the game plan, across the concepts, across the coverages he could see, to make sure that we can maximize all the opportunities we have.
Look, we need to talk about what's really happening in Cleveland right now, because this isn't just about one sideline confrontation. This is about a coaching staff that's creating a toxic environment for a rookie quarterback while protecting veterans who aren't holding up their end of the deal. And the receipts are piling up fast. So let's rewind to what happened. The Browns got demolished by the 49ers 26-8 in Shedeur's second career start. It was ugly, windy, and the offense looked completely out of sync. And in the middle of all this dysfunction, Jerry Jeudy, the supposed number one receiver on this team, got caught on camera going off on Shedeur on the sideline. The clip went absolutely viral. You had Jeudy clapping his hands, clearly frustrated, getting in the rookie's face about something. Now, when reporters asked Tommy Rees about this confrontation on Thursday, listen to how he handled it. He said, "Yeah, it's a competitive game. That's behind us at this point. I don't have any concern about their relationship, where they are, being on the same page. I think, look, everybody's competitive, wants to play well and win games and do things the right way. So that's something they've had a conversation on that's completely behind us and moving forward." Did you catch that? I don't have any concern about their relationship. Just brush it right under the rug. Move along. Nothing to see here. It's just competitive football, right? Everybody gets frustrated sometimes. No big deal. But here's what Tommy Rees didn't say. He didn't mention that Jerry Jeudy has been an absolute disaster this season. He didn't bring up the fact that Jeudy leads the entire NFL in drops. He didn't talk about how Jeudy had just 3 catches for 26 yards in that game against the 49ers. He didn't mention the fumble Jeudy had in the previous game that killed a drive. He didn't address the fact that Jeudy is on pace for 51 catches and 596 yards after catching 90 balls for 1,229 yards last season with the Broncos. That's a massive drop-off. And yet when Jeudy explodes on the sideline at a rookie quarterback, the coaching staff's response is, "We're good. It's competitive. We've moved on." You know what that tells me? It tells me the coaching staff is more concerned with protecting the feelings of a veteran who's underperforming than they are with developing their young quarterback and holding everybody to the same standard. And it gets worse when you dig into what Tommy Rees said about Shedeur's performance. Because while he's brushing off Jeudy's sideline tantrum and protecting the veteran receiver, he's putting all kinds of pressure and scrutiny on the rookie QB. Listen to what Rees said when asked about Shedeur's play. Yeah, there's certainly some opportunities he probably wants back, and that's going to happen with a young player. You're seeing things, and things are moving quicker than you're used to. And every rep he gets, every opportunity he gets, he's going to get more and more comfortable. Okay, so Shedeur needs more reps to get comfortable. That makes sense for a fifth-round rookie who still hasn't gotten consistent first-team practice time. But then Rees keeps going. There's always going to be plays you want back. I think we had some things there that you felt like you got some opportunities to hit, and those are coachable moments for a young quarterback. Those are opportunities to point out like, hey, this is what open looks like, or this is the defender that our eyes need to be on, and, trust that you're going to make this throw. Wait, hold up. This is what open looks like? Are we really going to act like Shedeur doesn't know what an open receiver looks like? This is a kid who threw for over 4,100 yards and 37 touchdowns in college, who was the Big 12 Offensive Player of the Year. He knows what open looks like. What Shedeur doesn't have is consistent chemistry with receivers because he's been buried on the depth chart all season without proper first-team practice time. And here's the absolute kicker that exposes the whole hypocrisy of this situation. When a reporter asked Tommy Rees about sitting in the booth and watching Jerry Jeudy open 3 or 4 times per game without getting the ball, you know what Tommy Rees said? Listen to this carefully because this is where the double standard gets exposed.
Yeah, like we're all competitive. We all want to win. We all want to play well, but my focus is why or how do we get this corrected? It's not this. We have a young quarterback playing who's doing everything we're asking of him, doing a good job of working towards the progression. So I try to internalize it. Like, where did I not make this clean enough for him to go execute? There are plays throughout games where there's a myriad of reasons why things don't work out. It's our job as coaches to present the solutions for the players so that they can. And that's really where my focus is. It's like, I brought this example up last week. In his first, real game time against Baltimore, we called a play twice. The second time we hit Harold on that 2-minute drive for the in cut on the first play. We had called it earlier in the game. We had really the same look where we could have completed it. So the conversation is like, hey, what are we seeing? How do we get this corrected? This is what you should key and trust it. And then the next time we did, he executed it. And so that's where our focus is as a staff. That's where my focus is in the box and, trying to be as solution-oriented and solution-based as possible.
Rees said, yeah, like we're all competitive. We all want to win. We all want to play well. But my focus is why or how do we get this corrected? It's not this. It's we have a young quarterback playing who's doing everything we're asking of him, doing a good job of working towards the progression. So I try to internalize it like, where did I not make this clean enough for him to go execute? You hear that? When Jerry Jeudy is open and not getting the ball, Tommy Rees internalizes the blame. He asks himself, where did I not make this clean enough for him? He takes responsibility as the offensive coordinator instead of holding either the quarterback or the receiver accountable for the disconnect. That's admirable in some ways. Good coaches take ownership of problems. But here's where it becomes a problem. Later in the same press conference, Rees talked about how he handles frustrated receivers in general. He said, I've told a lot of angry receivers, look, man, I don't dictate where the ball goes. The defense does. If they play this coverage, it's going to end up here. It is what it is. It's the same thing for the quarterbacks. Like if they play the coverage we want and we call the right play and we get into the right look, let's let it rip. That's the look we want. When it's not there, let's be smart and find a solution and we'll call it again. So which is it, Tommy? Do you control where the ball goes through your play design and coaching, or does the defense dictate where the ball goes based on coverage? Because you're saying two completely different things depending on who you're talking about. When Jerry Jeudy is frustrated about not getting targets, Rees says, I need to make the plays cleaner for Shedeur to execute. But when he's talking to angry receivers in general, he says the defense dictates where the ball goes, not me.
what
That's a
open looks like, or
massive
this is the
contradiction.
defender that our
And
eyes
it
need to be
reveals the
on, and
real
you can't
problem
trust
here.
that you're gonna
The
make this
coaching
throw,
staff is
and,
trying to
in the
please
same vein,
everybody and
he
protect
makes a lot of those
everybody
plays
instead
too,
of just
so
being straight
it's
about what's
building
actually
comfort
happening.
across the game.
Here's the truth that Tommy Rees won't say publicly. Jerry Jeudy is not good enough to be force-fed targets right now. When you lead the entire NFL in drops, when you fumble in crucial situations, and when your effort level has been questioned multiple times this season, you don't deserve to get fed just because you're upset. The ball should go to whoever is open and can actually catch it when it arrives. And you know what's crazy? Shedeur Sanders has been protecting these guys publicly. When reporters asked him about the confrontation with Jeudy, Shedeur said, "We resolved that. We're not going to speak on that." He didn't throw Jeudy under the bus. He didn't air out dirty laundry. He took the high road like a mature professional.
Jeudy, for his part, said, "We spoke about it. We're good. It's an emotional sport. Things happen in football." Okay, cool, but things happen in football is doing a lot of heavy lifting there when you're the one who initiated the confrontation and you're having your worst statistical season by a mile. Now, let me bring this back to the bigger picture of what's happening with Shedeur in Cleveland, because this Jeudy situation is just a symptom of the larger disease. According to multiple reports, including from SI.com, Tommy Rees said before Shedeur's first career start that he wanted to make him as comfortable as possible and call plays that breed confidence in him. Rees admitted that when Shedeur came in against the Ravens without any first-team reps, it was a really tough spot and he was proud of the way he fought. But here's the thing. If you know it's a tough spot for a rookie to play without first-team reps, why did Kevin Stefanski's coaching staff bury Shedeur on the depth chart all season? Why did they give him almost no practice time with the starters even after he was drafted? Reports came out that Stefanski wanted to redshirt Sanders this season. Meanwhile, Dillon Gabriel, who the coaching staff clearly preferred, got all the first-team reps despite being completely overmatched physically in the NFL. And now that Shedeur is finally getting his shot, the coaching staff is creating this impossible situation where he's supposed to develop chemistry with receivers on the fly, execute a game plan designed for a completely different quarterback, and deal with veterans like Jerry Jeudy throwing public tantrums when they're not getting enough targets, all while the coaching staff protects those veterans and puts subtle pressure on the rookie by constantly talking about opportunities he wants back and coachable moments. Let me tell you something. Shedeur Sanders completed 16 of 25 passes for 149 yards and a touchdown against the 49ers with 0 turnovers in terrible weather conditions. You know who else played in that game? Brock Purdy, the MVP candidate quarterback for San Francisco. Purdy completed 15 of 21 passes for 159 yards. So Shedeur's stat line was actually comparable to Purdy's in the same conditions, and yet Purdy isn't dealing with his receivers screaming at him on the sideline, or his offensive coordinator talking about coachable moments in press conferences.
Tommy Rees himself admitted that Shedeur is doing everything we're asking of him and doing a good job of working towards the progression. So if that's true, why is the narrative still focused on what Shedeur needs to improve instead of holding veterans like Jerry Jeudy accountable for their performance and behavior? Here's what Rees said about how the game slows down for young quarterbacks. He said, "I think those work hand in hand. I do think it slows down as you see it, as you get more exposed to it. 5 years from now, it's going to certainly feel slower to them. 5 weeks from now, it's going to certainly feel slower to them. There comes a moment where you can kind of just, all right, take a breath. I'm seeing these things clearly. I've had plenty of reps on this. 5 weeks from now, it's going to feel slower? Cool. So why didn't you give him those reps earlier in the season when he could have been developing instead of sitting behind Dillon Gabriel? Why did it take a concussion to get Shedeur on the field in the first place? And now that he is playing, why are you creating an environment where veterans can publicly criticize him without facing any accountability themselves? Look, I get it. Tommy Rees is trying to be diplomatic. He's trying to protect his players and keep everything in-house. But there's a difference between being diplomatic and being inconsistent. When you say the defense dictates where the ball goes to angry receivers, but then take personal blame when Jerry Jeudy isn't getting targets,
you're sending mixed messages. When you brush off a veteran's sideline tantrum as competitive football, but constantly emphasize the coachable moments for your rookie quarterback, you're creating a double standard. And here's the thing that really bothers me about all this. Shedeur Sanders deserves better. He deserves a coaching staff that's going to be straight with him, give him the resources he needs to succeed, and hold all players to the same standard regardless of draft position or veteran status. He deserves receivers who are going to work with him instead of against him. He deserves an offensive line that actually blocks for him. He deserves a fair shot to prove what he can do. So, here's my question for y'all in the comments. Is Tommy Rees really protecting Shedeur Sanders by taking all the blame himself and brushing off the Jerry Jeudy confrontation, or is he actually making it harder for the rookie to succeed by creating a culture where veterans can act out without consequences? And when you look at how the coaching staff handled this whole situation, from burying Shedeur on the depth chart, to not giving him first-team reps, to now protecting Jerry Jeudy while putting subtle pressure on the rookie, does it look like they're actually committed to developing Shedeur as the franchise QB, or are they just going through the motions? Drop your thoughts below. And if you're sick of seeing talented young quarterbacks get thrown into impossible situations by coaching staffs that won't hold veterans accountable, smash that subscribe button, because we're going to keep calling out this dysfunction until something changes in Cleveland. The Browns have their third start coming up this Sunday against the Titans, and we'll be watching closely to see if anything actually changes, or if it's more of the same double standards. Let's talk about it.